Everybody, welcome back. We're on the Good Bit podcast, and yes, we're here for another episode. It's episode number 56. 56 is a random number, a number that only some people can dream of getting to, but not us, because it's 56 episodes, and we have made it. Ladies and gentlemen, hello again. My name is Chris Moffat. I will be your host, and today I'm joined, my pleasure to be joined by my original co-host of the Good Bit podcast, not in Good Bit Studios, not in podcasting studios, but actually in a brand new location in London, England, baby. Please welcome back to the show. It's Aron.
It's good to be here.
Is it good to be here?
Well, I am just in my own flat, so
well,
yes.
I'm here.
You are here. Is it good to be here?
It's good to be here.
Well, it's alright then.
Yeah. Wait, this is your new flat. How are you adjusting to life in London?
Alright.
Oh no, because
I've been living here for 3 years.
How many years? Three. So, well, that's the story. Actually, we started the podcast in March of 2016, and then by October you were away here.
Yeah.
Living all sorts of places, but this is a new flat.
It's a new flat.
How are you getting on?
It's a nice flat. It's a nicer flat. We've moved up in the world.
Have you?
I think we have, slightly.
I never saw your last one, so.
Well, it's not as nice as this.
Okay.
But more expensive.
See that? Isn't that funny?
Isn't that funny how life works?
Yes. How life works, that's an interesting question. I feel like the past couple of days that
we have gone deep.
We have gone deep, which I feel like I go deep. I was going to say I go deep often with you. I do though.
Not that deep. We've been deeper than we ever been.
I know. we chat about things that I don't chat about with anybody else. And I like that.
And you know, we should have recorded every single conversation to monetize it to its full potential.
You want to talk about like YouTube content?
It's all gone. It's all lost to the ether. We could repeat it verbatim.
We could, because I noted every word down. But
yes.
Also, I feel like if we knew we were recording, I feel like I go into a mode when I'm recording because I'm a host and I go into host mode. But when I'm just chatting to you, I'm more open, I think.
Okay, I get that host mode.
I let my guard down.
You don't let your guard down on a podcast, is that what you mean though?
It depends on what the podcast is about and who's on it, I think.
You see, hosting a few episodes of my own podcast, start doing that again, I find host mode is harder to have a real conversation when you're trying to sort of administrate.
Absolutely. And although you can have a conversation, but you have to guide everybody else through.
That's why I need a producer with a laptop looking up things and with a sheet.
That's good. Yeah.
Like Fraser did once, and I really liked it.
Yeah, and he also filmed...
But then you fired him.
I fired him, it was no use. He also filmed episode 53, which is the one with the 3 cameras. And at that point, we didn't do an episode for ages after that. And I think it's because we reached, like, that was the best we'd done, I think.
Oh, wow. The best episode?
One of the best episodes, but it was the best looking episode.
Right, okay.
And it was a nice one to kind of round off on. It was just time for a break, but it just took ages to make and ages to do, and it needed time to sit. But it was 3 cameras and 3 of us in different locations in the same room, obviously. But like, and every time we would speak, the camera would cut to whoever was speaking, and it just looked brilliant. And I wanted, ideally, we'd have a studio where we could do that every episode, but it's just not going to happen.
Why not?
Well, it could happen, but it just takes loads and loads and loads of work and loads of time. So if we're getting to the point where that's an option, then it's definitely something we're going to do. But like here, for example, then we'd need to bring all the equipment here. The thing with me and the good bit is I'm a bit of a travelling host.
Yeah, it needs to be in a set location.
Yeah.
That's the dream though. We've been talking about that.
It is the dream. And then also have everybody come to me. But then it's my house. You know what I mean? It'd be good to have an actual studio.
It is your house, but it's your special room.
It's my special room. Yeah, the studio.
You know?
I've started calling it the office.
That's good. It is.
Yeah.
It's got everything you need. It's got everything. You work there.
I work there.
You've made 20 quid there.
My laptop. I've made more than that.
Right.
I've got my laptop there, my PlayStation there that I never use, my TV, and that's where we record the episodes because it is for the best sound. Curtains and carpets and
You're lucky man.
Well, yeah, I'm very lucky. But for years we called it the playroom.
But no play.
Because when I was younger that's where we would play.
Right, now it's work.
But then it became the family room.
Oh no.
But now it's the office.
Right. You've taken over.
I've taken over. I'm going to put a sign on the door saying the office.
See, when no one's in this flat, this is quite a good. I mean, listeners can't see.
Yeah.
But, I wonder what the acoustics are like.
Well, that's what I was going to say because acoustics are different everywhere we record.
This is a quite big room.
The ceiling's quite high actually.
Very high.
And we don't have any curtains. I've noticed that curtains are like the key to great sound.
Yeah, we should have curtains in here.
Curtains and those sort of soundproof things you put on the wall.
Oh.
That's where we can get the best sound. And also I'd like to apologise to the listeners because if we have any diehards out there who know the good bit inside and out, this might sound a tad different to them. And that's because we're using one of the older mics today, because I have flown to London to see my good friend, and when I was packing my case, I had everything in it and it was so heavy. So I thought, for the sake of 2 days I'm here.
For the sake of yourself.
And myself. It was heavy enough anyway. I had to bring my laptop and all this stuff. So I brought the smaller mic. So it should be fine. At the time when we had this mic, it was fine. I just wanted to upgrade, but just in case anyone's like, this sounds different. Not that it will, but still. Just have to make that clear.
It's good to address.
Yes, it's good to address.
I've got a mic.
Do you? Oh yeah, the podcasting mic. Is that here?
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's alright.
We're here.
This will be fine.
We're started down.
Yeah.
Right. Well, ladies and gents, that's been us. Until next time. See you next time.
5-minute episode. This is. I mean, that's an idea.
That is a great idea, actually. We 5-minute episodes.
But then,
we talked about so much there.
I know, but then it's not.
I get you.
Podcasting mediums for going deep. It's for listening. It's for when you're in the car. We've spoken about it. It's good to be long. We used to get paranoid about how long they'd get, but if you're listening, if you're going to listen to a podcast, and it's 40 minutes and there's 10 minutes to go, you're not like, oh, for fuck's sake, hurry up. You'll do something else, or you're doing some podcasts are things you listen to most of the time while you're doing something else. And then
it's so easy to just pause and pick back up. It's not as if it's like the start of a new episode.
No,
you have to,
it's a conversation.
It's a conversation. I had a wee epiphany when I was on holiday. I was telling you about this the other night, I think.
Mm-hmm.
New idea. See what the listeners think. The whole process of the good bit now is trying to get everybody in the room at the same time, which has become the difficulty, because now that we've left college and we've left uni, everyone's went their own way. And although we still talk to each other, it's not like...
Do we?
I'd like to think I'm quite good at staying in contact with folk. Yeah.
No.
I know what you mean. A lot of people are just like, they go work and that's living their own wee bubble, but
we're all still friends, aren't we?
Everybody's still friends and co-workers in some way. But it's harder to get everybody in the room at the same time. So I thought, why don't I try and separate it a little bit and try and get wee conversations with maybe one or two people, maybe even just one, like an individual conversation like we're doing now, and really dive into a topic with one person where it could be differing views, similar views. We could talk about life, we could dig deep, we could talk about what we're doing now, and it could be something with everybody, and I could get people from different experiences, people who've never been on the show before.
Well, you've said that now, you've got an audience.
Yeah.
See what the response is. Would you get a response if you asked for it?
Nah.
Right, okay. Well, maybe do it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Ask the question.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to do whatever.
You're going to do whatever you want.
Yeah. Because this is my baby. Right, let's chat about some films, shall we?
Yeah.
Because the original plan of the Good Bit podcast back in March of 2016 was every single week we would go to see a film together. And it could have been a big blockbuster, could have been an independent film, a sequel, standalone, a musical, anything. Head home to the Good Bit Studios, in the office, not talk about the film, and then unleash our thoughts and review whilst recording.
In a fiery manner.
Yeah. That only happened a couple of times.
But it was good.
But it was a good idea. And ever since you left to London and then you came back and forth and you did episodes here and there, we would go back to that original
method.
Plan. Yeah. So let's do it now.
We've done that.
We have done that because we saw a film last night that just happens to be quite a big film.
The film of the year, arguably.
The film of the year. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by one Quentin Tarantino. Now, Aron and I have had a weird relationship in terms of Tarantino films because, just a quick backstory, we went to see The Hateful Eight together back in 2016, before The Good Bit was even an idea.
Was it 2015?
No, January 16th.
Oh, okay.
January 16th. I remember it was like right at the start of the year because there was snow everywhere and that.
Right.
Ice. And it was Aron's first ever Tarantino film. It was my first one in the cinema. It wasn't being shown in main cinemas because of the way it was shot. So we had to go to a sort of smaller independent cinema in the West End of Glasgow. And it was just the best experience. Up there, top 3 for me, best cinema experiences of all time, along with maybe Star Wars The Force Awakens and maybe Avengers Endgame. The reason I've got that at the top of my head is because we talked about it the other night. And that was it. And then ever since then we've kind of watched Tarantino films together and separately and talked about them and stuff, to the point where now I'd say he's probably collectively the both of us one of, if not our favourite director. So now it's time for a new Tarantino film. I've come to London. I've flown to London and we've gone to see it together. And I have to ask you right now, what did you think of his 9th film? Because we haven't talked about it.
We haven't talked about it.
No. Overnight.
We've slept on it.
We saw it last night.
We saw it late last night. It's not been that long.
Well, we came home and we talked about life some more.
We'll have to talk about other things.
Yeah.
Honestly, the times we've done this thing where we've not talked about a movie, that was the toughest.
The toughest one?
Not to talk about.
Fair enough.
I mean, what did I think? I loved it.
Of course you did, but I mean, what did you think?
Right, we both loved it. I think we could both
absolutely
tell that.
I just logged on to my Letterboxd and I saw that you rated it 5 stars.
Oh shit!
And I was like, I wonder what you thought about it.
Oh shit!
Letterboxd CM42 TV. If you want to follow me,
right?
I review films and watch.
I didn't think about that.
It's all right though. I knew you loved it.
Of course,
anyway.
you knew we loved it.
I knew you loved it.
I mean, yeah. I don't know quite what to say about it. I'm being a very good movie reviewer right now, mate. Well, I need time. I need to see it again.
Yeah, well, that's. I think it's a staple of a good film because you can't judge it on the first viewing.
I know I loved it. I know I loved a lot of things about it. I've slept on it and I've thought about it more and I've loved it even more than I did last night.
Yeah, me too.
It was everything that I wanted out of it and more.
Good.
It didn't disappoint in any way.
Do you know,
for me, from what I expected, it was. Yeah, go on.
You want me to?
Yeah, you better say something.
You know why I loved it so much? Because it was exactly what Tarantino does in a different way, right? So when I was watching Pulp Fiction for the first time, and when I was watching Inglourious Bastards for the first time, about an hour in, you're like, what on earth is this? And even though I'm such a fan of his and I've studied all of his films, I'm still doing that last night. And I was like, really? What are we watching here? This is not Tarantino. And this is strange. And it's like, why have we sat and watched Brad Pitt drive a car for 3 minutes and uninterrupted? Why? It's pointless. And at one point I was like, oh, fuck, I just wanted this to be better. Another hour goes by.
It's all justified.
And you forget about everything and you're into the film. And then when the film's over, you think back to those 3 minutes of Brad Pitt driving the car uninterrupted, going, what was the point of this?
That was the point.
And you go, that's what they were trying to do. Oh my god, that is genius. And it was the same with Pulp Fiction. It was the same with Inglourious Bastards. Maybe even the same with The Hateful Eight. But I guess The Hateful Eight was more structured because they were heading to a fucking cabin in the snow. But I just remember when that film finished being like, that is how to experience a fucking Tarantino film, because it's exactly what he does. He plays with the audience. He plays with his biggest fan. He says, you're thinking this, but I'm going to take you in another direction. You will watch this person take off his coat, sit down and read a newspaper for 10 minutes.
And you will love it.
And you will love it because it will mean something by the end. And it was incredible.
Are we spoiling?
We're going to have to.
Right.
Well, we're not going to say, yeah, we're going to have to.
Well, spoiler alert.
I mean, you're not going to listen to this
the
podcast
ending,
if you've not seen it yet.
The ending both jolted me in an unexpected way and simultaneously wrapped the whole thing up for me.
Yep.
And at that end, I decided, I was like, yeah, that was fucking incredible. That was fucking great. That was fucking incredible. Because even though there are points during the film when you're watching it going, oh, fuck, this is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
You know, you're just watching a film. You're not really thinking about what you think about
you
it.
realise
You're in the world.
Yeah.
When that ending happened and lights came up, it just all hit me at once. Holy fuck, that was incredible.
Yeah.
And it's an ending that doesn't leave you satisfied. It leaves you wanting more.
Yeah.
But that's it, isn't it?
But that's him.
And it leaves you questioning, and it leaves you thinking about it. It doesn't.
Yep.
And I think I can't say this now because I only saw it last night. But ask me in 2 months what I think about this film, and then I'll really tell you.
Yeah.
Because I think with this, the point that I am in my life and what I'm doing, I think this film will be a catalyst for expanding my love of movies even further and making me delve deeper into an obsession with cinema, which I can only imagine right now. But that's what I feel after it. I just want to watch. I want to watch old westerns. I want to watch more. I want to watch old Tarantino again. I want to watch more Leo. I want to look at more actors that I admire. I want to do a lot of things after that film.
You also felt the same way after The Hateful Eight when you watched it for the first time, and you also felt the same way after Pulp Fiction, because he just has a way to make you feel.
Inspiring you. Inspired. I feel inspired.
But in an opposite way. You know what I mean? It's not as if you've gone to see an uplifting film and I am now inspired. You know what I mean?
It's also about what we do for a living, I think.
Absolutely. We're actors, by the way, or trying to be actors.
Did you know that? We're actors.
Yeah.
Maybe you are too.
And if you are, please send help, because we can all help each other.
Stuff in it.
Yeah. End up doing this.
I think the fact that our profession changes for the better how we see Tarantino movies, and especially the movie last night. Like, it's everything we love in a film.
Yeah.
We love music, we love acting, we love cinema. We kind of do all that for a living. Mm-hmm. And that's what's inspiring about it. I mean, 'cause our profession is basically been encapsulated in a film.
Yeah.
In a romantic, beautiful 60s way.
But all of those things were inside the film.
Yeah.
On top of that, you have it incredibly acted, incredibly directed. It looked brilliant. The soundtrack was great.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
DiCaprio in that film, I just feel like every single time I've watched a DiCaprio film, I'm like, that was his best film.
He surprises me every time.
But what I mean,
because you see him in interviews these days, and he's sort of very. He's like a politician. He's just very.
He's getting older. He's getting wiser.
He's wiser. He doesn't say, well, maybe that he's wiser. He doesn't say as much to the press. He's sort of guarded. He doesn't really give anything away these days.
Yeah.
He's kind of always been like that. Sort of speaks very, not politically, but like a politician. He says the right things. He doesn't give anything away.
He's very well spoken.
And he sort of holds back his emotions, and he can appear in interviews bland and doesn't really. It's not really interesting. But in movies, you forget what an incredible access to every single, it seems, emotion possible in a human he can access and live through. Yeah. And you forget that when you're watching all these interviews with him, and he's sort of boring and bland and sort of just Leo.
Yeah, but I can still listen to him talk all day.
And I do.
Yeah.
Because you know that he's got something inside.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He's the bog standard, who's your favourite actor? And you kind of want to go away from that. Oh, I don't like Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. But they're like...
There's a reason they make a lot of money.
Absolutely incredible, the both of them.
Uh-huh.
Brad Pitt in that film.
Oh.
Holy God!
Ah.
That's what I'm saying. The scene of him just driving in a car for 3 minutes and waving to a girl. Just something about that. You're watching going, how do they make that look so interesting?
It's mesmerising.
It's crazy.
Mesmerising acting.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to come in anyway.
Yeah.
Like, he's just trying to get into a house. And what I loved about that scene, the scene about him going to the hippie's place, is that it was literally spoon-fed to you that these girls have killed his old pal.
Yeah.
And he goes in and the shit's about to go down, and the music is so tense. And I was gripping my seat. And then he goes in and the guy's fine. He's not fine, but he's there. He's sleeping.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, George, nice to see you. And he leaves.
And that's that.
And it's, oh my...
And that's that scene.
This journey that you're taking on.
And it's really like the film is a collection of, it's a story, of course, but it is a collection of, brilliant two-hander scenes that just go on for, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes, these scenes, but you don't realise that until the scene's over and you go, that was a long scene, but holy fuck, that was great.
And also when you report back to another person's story, you go, oh yeah.
So there's a scene between Leo and the little actor, the girl who wants to be called an actor. She's ahead of her time, and sort of a Meryl Streep character who's wants to be a method actor. That scene, how long was that scene? That was so long. It was brilliant.
It's just two of them sitting talking.
The scene, there's loads of scenes between Brad and Leo.
Her name was Julia Butters.
She was brilliant. She was brilliant.
Dakota Fanning.
I feel like I'm just
played the girl who didn't let him in the house.
Yeah.
Her face was unreal. The emotion she was going through.
I'm just throwing around the adjectives at this point. I don't know how
we'll try and talk about individual things, but
I don't know how interesting this is to listen to if you've not seen it or if you have. It's really, you need to listen to this if you've seen the film.
Have you heard of Austin Butler?
No,
Before?
who is he?
Austin Butler is like a teenage heartthrob at the minute.
Oh right.
He's dating Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh right.
High School Musical, and he is in something big that is down with the young kids, especially the young girls today.
Was he in that?
He was Tex. He is a young man who is now like kind of breaking through, and he's well respected and stuff. But he's a young man. He's a bit older than us, 5 years older than us, and he's handsome and stuff, and all the girls love him. So when I heard he was in this film, I was like, oh, it's a young guy, a young actor, relatively inexperienced, getting to work with DiCaprio and Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie and Michael Madsen and Tarantino, and I thought he was one of the best parts of the film. He was Tex on the horse, and then he came to at the end to kill them. I was like, this is Austin Butler. This is. We gotta tell my sister about him because, oh my god, he was so good. This is Tex.
And there's something about, how long was that film?
2 hours and 48 minutes.
Right. It was
2 hours and 41 minutes.
right, nearly 3 hours.
Yeah.
And at the end, I wanted it to keep going.
Another thing, I literally said it out loud when it finished. I don't want it to end. I didn't want it to end.
I went, no!
Even though I've been sitting there, and you know me, I hate long films.
Me too.
3 hours long, I mean, that's a red flag.
Me
I
too.
won't, very rarely I'll sit down and watch it for 3 hours. But I would have watched it for another good while because I was so interested in the characters and individual stories. The thing with the Hateful Eight that I loved so much is because all these characters are in the same room together. Whereas this one, the 3 different narratives were everywhere. And they were in the same time zone. It's not like Pulp Fiction where it's like, fucks me on mind because this is like 2 days before this and then that happened in the future.
It was a little, not like that, but it was over.
There was a time jump, but what I'm saying is when the 3 different narratives were happening, the Brad Pitt narrative, the DiCaprio narrative and the Margot Robbie narrative were all happening relatively at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What did you make of Margot Robbie?
Well, I'd found out before that she didn't have a huge amount to do in terms of, you know, she was billed as sort of Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie. You'd expect the film to be about them 3.
And we're big fans of her.
I mean, the whole film was kind of about Sharon Tate because that's the seeded truth. That's the history there. So she wasn't the main character. You know, she was kind of the focal point of the film, in a way. But in terms of her flexing her acting chops, she didn't do very much.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but what you asked me what I thought of Margot in the film. She was good. She was Sharon Tate.
She was Sharon Tate. I'm just looking at the real Sharon Tate's filmography.
She didn't have huge much to do.
Yeah, she died when she was 26 years old.
Bloody hell.
And I was confused at first. I didn't really get it because obviously she was playing Sharon Tate. She went to see the film, and she's in the film. But the film we were watching was Sharon Tate, which I loved that. But you know, I'm watching it going, that's not Margot acting.
Yeah.
How many the fucking Tarantino feet references did we get? Holy God, everyone had their feet out.
What's that to do with?
It's his, you know, every director has their wee trademark. One of his is a female's feet will be centre screen.
Is it?
Kill Bill and Hateful Eight and Pulp Fiction.
Where's the feet in Hateful Eight?
I think the girl, what's her name? The girl that's like the slave that's being dragged.
Prisoner.
She's got her feet out.
Is she?
Kill Bill, Wriggle Your Big Toe. Mia Wallace in Pulp Fiction's always got her feet up. Every one of his films, female feet. You never noticed that?
Is it a fetish of his?
Must be. It's just a thing he does every film. It was staring me right in the face. There was 3 or 4 times where it was like so blatant.
Feet.
And I was like, jeez, I thought he would just do it the once.
It's a bit bizarre, isn't it?
Interesting though.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own thing, and that's his. Obviously, he's got more. But
he's got a lot of things.
Tons. Another thing as well. 20 minutes, or not 20 minutes, an hour and 20, and halfway through or something. I'm kind of thinking, there's not been a death. There's not been a brutal murder.
It's been very rosy.
It's been very rosy, other than the Bruce Lee and Brad Pitt fight.
Which, yeah.
I mean, it's not Bruce Lee, but he's playing Bruce Lee. And then at this end scene, I haven't howled laughter like that in a cinema in so long. I've seen some funny films this year. The Upside and Long Shot and some Booksmart, some really, really funny films this year. But in terms of laughing like that, where tears were coming out and my ribs were hurting and laughing. Mm-hmm. And it's not because anyone said anything funny, it was because it turned into a Tarantino Western.
In the best way.
These people broke into DiCaprio's house and Brad Pitt
just annihilated them
so brutally. And then to top, I thought it was over. And then Leo comes out with the flamethrower and torches her. And what was the line at the end? Is everybody okay?
We're okay, but the hippies aren't.
But the fucking hippies are. Brilliant. It was just spectacular. And the reason it was spectacular is because I didn't think it was going to be halfway through.
What can we talk about other than the fact that we fucking loved it?
I don't know.
I'm going to see it again, and if you've seen it already, I recommend go see it again. Not that, I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to go again.
Well, yeah, because now we will be so giddy.
I'm obsessed with it. I've watched a lot of content on it on YouTube already.
And we should say we had very high expectations of this. We were talking about it all week.
Very high, like ridiculously high.
Yeah. And
it lived up. How amazing is that? Things don't often do that.
But again, it lived up in a different way.
I mean, did it? It gave me everything I expected. And more.
Yeah.
And stuff I didn't expect.
Yeah. I mean, if you've not seen it, obviously if you're younger than 18...
If you've not seen it, you've listened this far, it's not going to be as good for you now.
Yeah.
Spoiled it. But
sucks to be you. But if you have seen it and you enjoyed it as much as it does...
Let us know what you enjoyed.
Let us know, and hopefully this is not... it's just us lushing out of our love for it. But yeah, it was great. We'll talk about it more, I think, in the future when we've seen it again and we've studied it some more, because I feel like that's so important.
This is initial thoughts. Maybe next week I'll be like, actually it was shite. It's not going to happen. But it sometimes happens.
Who else is good in it?
The young girl who Brad Pitt picks up, one of Charlie's.
I think her name was Pussycat.
Yeah,
Margaret Qualley, her name is. She was great.
Very good.
Very stunning.
Very good.
Dakota Fanning, as I said, she was great. Luke Perry.
Ethan Hawke's daughter's in it.
What?
She's one of Charlie's. She's the one that runs away before they raid the house.
Is she?
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, it's his daughter.
I don't see her here, but I'm sure. What about Al Pacino?
Oh, he was very good, wasn't he?
He was very fun.
I've not seen him in a big film in a long time. What's he been doing?
I don't know.
What's his film? Can we have a look at that?
Yeah, of course. Do you want me that?
I could do that. You.
I'm still looking through. I mean, the cast is ridiculous. Michael Madsen shows up, and Luke Perry's in it, and Vincent Laresca from all those sort of FBI cop shows is in it. It's really a remarkable cast, but he always has them, I think. He
can get who he wants, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know what the last huge blockbuster Al Pacino was in. I'm seeing not the last films he did, and I'm not recognising any of them. Hangman, Pirates of Somalia. Are these big films? I've not seen them.
They're not huge films, but they're films that I've heard of.
I feel like I haven't seen Al Pacino in a long time.
Yeah.
In a big blockbuster like a Tarantino. Yeah, he was good though. He was very good.
He was very interesting. Different role for him. So yeah, there you go. We're talking about Tarantino films. You want to see if we can rank our Tarantino films from favourite to least favourite, or least favourite to favourite?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this is going to be very subjective because we've just seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Again, ask me in 2 months when I've digested.
And we'll probably be biased towards it because of that. But
yeah, you I don't know. You asked me what my you asked me to rank my favourite Tarantino films after I've seen a Tarantino movie for the first time. That movie is probably going to be at the top every time.
Yeah.
You asked me this question after I see Pulp Fiction for the first time.
Yeah.
I'd say Pulp Fiction. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I would.
I kind of did that by design though, because they're so impactful, the films. I want to see it because the initial reaction is maybe the most important.
Well, there you
go. Because it makes you want to see it again, and it makes you want to study about it. So,
right,
go for it. From least favourite to favourite.
Least favourite.
Can I just say I love all of his films? There's not one film that I don't like.
I've not seen Death Proof, but that doesn't count, does it?
I mean, yeah, I count it.
It's not because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, but I think he counts Kill Bill as the one.
Does he though?
I believe so.
I don't think. If you don't count Kill Bill as one film, it is 2 films. He's made 9 films, and I think he doesn't count.
Death Proof?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've added it to mine, maybe.
I've not seen it.
Okay, well, fair enough. Do your thing.
I mean, and again with all these, I saw them, a lot of them, a long time ago, and I haven't watched them since because I watched them in 2016 after The Hateful Eight in different ways. Some of them were just on a laptop illegally, and some of them were on a big TV
on Netflix.
You know.
Yeah.
Jackie Brown. Least favourite, but I don't like to say least favourite because I remember liking it. But I watched Jackie Brown over like 3 days, like in 1 hour chunks, on a computer illegally.
Watch that one again.
I should watch that again.
It is absolutely spectacular.
Because I really liked it, but that was not a good way to watch it, and I appreciate that. Yeah. How do you want to do it? What's your least?
No, just you.
Alright, and then Reservoir Dogs. I love that film, and I actually watched that reasonably recently, and I still liked it. But
I was the same.
I mean, it's his first, but I feel like because it's first, he was. There's a lot of Tarantino magic that he later, started to develop that I feel like a lot of his other films have.
I find that very interesting in that film, though. What's to come for him with these actors?
I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I find it hard to distinguish between Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2 because I watched them back to back.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago.
Right.
Like 1, 2, like literally like back to back.
That's probably how you should do it.
So I'm saying Kill Bill 1 and 2, sort of.
Yeah.
Next. I remember loving it.
Yeah.
And I want to watch them again. These epic films, like if you watch once, they just there's so much.
It doesn't even be epic films. Any film.
Yeah, but especially the films that a lot of people regard as outstanding, and if you really like it, to really find it outstanding, you got to watch it again.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
You learn more about it.
Inglourious Bastards. Loved it.
Yep.
I love all these films. Django, and then Pulp Fiction, and then Hateful Eight, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think that's how it's going to stay, because Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is about Hollywood. It's about acting. I love all those things.
Yeah. Did we not see a film one time recently? What was that about? About older actors and they're trying to still be relevant, and we watched it in the cinema together and we loved it. Or maybe you loved it and I didn't.
Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar. Mm-hmm. And you loved that film, and for some reason I didn't. Mm-hmm. That's one I need to rewatch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hateful Eight second because I can't forget my first Tarantino.
Absolutely.
And a lot of Tarantino fans, that's not their favourite because it was very long and maybe slightly overindulgent, people think. But
oh no,
I cannot forget my first Tarantino, and I've watched it a lot since. That's probably the Tarantino film I've watched the most. Just because it brings back those memories of watching my first Tarantino, and I can't shake that.
Well, the Tarantino that I've watched the most is my number 1, so I'll leave that with you.
Okay.
My rankings.
Pulp Fiction.
I have Death Proof last.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once.
Is it shit?
No, but it's good.
Is it?
And it's uneventful, and it's just under 2 hours long.
Who's in it?
Kurt Russell.
Right.
It's good, yeah. Zoe Bell's in it. Tracy Thomas. Eli Roth's in it, of course. Yeah, it's good. You should watch it.
What is it about?
It's about a car driver, a famous driver. You should check it out. I don't want to. You know what, Tarantino? I can't.
Did Robert Rodriguez write it?
I don't know.
Because he's weird.
But anyway, so that's my last one. It's not that I don't like it. It's just whatever. Next on my list would be Inglourious Bastards.
Okay.
Because you know my story behind that. I think I've talked about it before. How I watched it, maybe illegally, and it didn't have any subtitles. So I'm watching French actors, not understanding what they're saying, but thinking this is Tarantino. He's obviously done this on purpose. So I'm trying to.
You watched the whole film like that?
The first half, and and I'm trying to, because it was good enough that I knew what was going on, because the acting was great and stuff. And then I maybe tweeted or something, isn't Glorious Bastard supposed to have subtitles? And everybody was like, of course it is. So I was like, maybe I'll watch the rest with subtitles, because that's the way it was supposed to be done. I thought maybe it was supposed to be done without subtitles. So I went back and watched it. I loved it, but that story is always going to be hindered with it. Next would be Django, because I love it. I love it. But you watch it once and you go, holy God, that was an experience, and you move on.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have the desire to watch that again.
Yeah, it didn't affect me as much as others did.
But I have watched it again, in saying that. 6
and 7 would be both Kill Bills.
Yeah.
I tend to prefer the first one, but the first one was the first ever Tarantino film I ever saw.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was just in my house on Blu-ray. It's not as if it was a big moment for me. I was just watching a film at the time. 5 would be Reservoir Dogs, because it was his first one and it's so interesting watching it.
Brilliant film. I mean,
and seeing his wee techniques come to life and develop. And I love watching that, like watching actors' first movies and wrestlers' first wrestling matches and artists' first albums, things like that. Because it's so much to come and where they started from. 4 would be Jackie Brown.
Wow, that was my last one.
Yeah.
I mean, I do need to see it again in a proper way.
It's just great. 3, I've got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because I'm taking into account the fact I've just seen it. I might be biased.
I've put it straight to the top. It's probably naive of me, but
no, not at all. You loved it so much. I did too, but you know the way it's just like, I don't think it.
I don't trust myself.
Number 1 and 2 have reached legendary status to the fact that they're both in my top 15 favourite films of all time.
But I'm ignoring all that, and I'm ignoring anyone else's opinion.
Well, that's fair.
I'm going off my instincts here.
2 is The Hateful Eight, because of the experience, and I've watched it since then and just adore everything about it.
Yeah.
And my number 1's Pulp Fiction, because I've watched it so many times, and
I think I've only watched it once.
It's a film that I've studied and learned from and crafted together my own opinions from different and looked at it as individual narratives and stories.
Okay.
And the acting in it is just ridiculous. And it could be the best film ever made, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
From a structure point of view, don't want to sound like too wanky, but it's true.
So wanky.
That's our Tarantino films ranked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel naive. I shouldn't.
No,
but
it is. It's fresh in your mind.
It's fresh. I'm going with an instinct.
Yeah.
In 2 months, I think it's still going to be top.
I've just put it 3. 3 still. It's higher than
Because
Jackie Brown in Reservoir.
Because last night, as well, like seeing it, my second Tarantino in the cinema. I'm not going to forget that either.
With this big build-up, we had a great day yesterday.
The build-up, the great day. I mean, it's been, it's number 1 because I can see that Pulp Fiction is potentially one of the most revolutionary films ever made. But for a film like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I don't think you could maybe say Star Wars, Force Awakens, but I honestly don't think I was as hyped. I don't think I've been as hyped for as long about a film as I have been about this film, and for it to exceed my expectations,
it's crazy.
I have to.
Yeah,
and it's gonna have to go. It's gonna have to go in one of my favourites of all time, I think. But I'm too nervous to do that right now.
No, I know, but after we saw Hateful Eight, we were thinking the same thing.
Yes, and then it happened. Yeah.
So there you go. That's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I've got a feeling I'll end up talking about it again on YouTube or even on another podcast. So we might just have to leave it there for the now. But it was just incredible, and I'm so happy with it. I made the effort. You know, the original plan was, I'd do it like any other film. I'd go see it with my friends and maybe my family or something. That's fine. We'll talk about it. But it's the fact that I was here. It's a big adventure for me. We had such a good day yesterday. It just felt right to do it. Aron took me around London yesterday. I've not been here in 9 years, and it was great fun. It was a beautiful day. We went for food. We had Nando's. We went to Chinatown, which for some reason I loved and just really wanted to do, and went to a wee street food place and got some chicken from Chinatown, and went to all these shops and stuff and had great ice cream. And we walked across the Thames and all that stuff, and then it just ended with this film. It's a great story.
It's a great story.
Yeah. So
it's a love story.
It's a love story. Yeah. Speaking of love stories, I was going to move on to our next film to talk about, but I feel like it's not going to be because although we had such a good time watching another film this weekend or this week, it's not going to be as regarded because how good
it's been completely outshadowed.
Yeah, which is a shame because I really enjoyed it.
Overshadowed, yeah.
The film we're talking about is Blinded by the Light, which is based on the music of Bruce Springsteen, which I really, really, really liked, really enjoyed. Partly because it was my first night in London, we were just kind of had something to eat and we were walking around the town. And we saw this beautiful theatre called the Everyman.
It's a chain.
It's a chain.
I think it's a chain, it's London, only in London, I think.
And it's beautiful with a bar and it's like this dining area of a cinema. And you
Very
go in,
posh chain.
Very posh chain. And there's couches and tables and beverages and footrests and beautiful. With these chandeliers up and stuff, architecture. And it was like, we have to see a film here. So we saw that there. We saw Blinded by the Light there and we really enjoyed it. The music was great. Neither Aron and I are massive Springsteen followers. I appreciate his great music and stuff, but just it was a little bit past. I was past his generation, like my dad and stuff. Huge Springsteen fan.
I could see myself getting into it after that film though.
Absolutely, the music was great, and I love the way that it kind of changed his life and stuff because that can happen. And it's about kind of like a boy who is religious and is brought up to think a certain way and to believe a certain thing, and then he hears Springsteen's music and all of his dreams just come to life and explode, and he just starts following his dreams. It's a beautiful film.
It's a beautiful film. I enjoyed it. Had a good time. Was ready for it to be finished at the end.
Really?
Yeah, but I think it could have been an incredible film, but I think it did a good job of doing what it wanted to do. But for my taste, I didn't. I think it was a bit too PG in the way it was. It was clearly a very family film. I don't know if maybe it didn't mean to be that. In which case, it's
a 12.
Is it 12? It seemed like a U.
Well, there was bad language in it.
Was there?
Yeah.
And
he punches his dad in the face, and it was quite brutal.
It wasn't brutal though.
They're very racist in it and stuff.
Because it was such a 1987 in Luton. It could have been more, racial tension and the Bruce Springsteen music being so real.
It's so passionate, that music.
There was moments of that real, true, dream, wanting a dream in this far off, distant land of America, but
yeah,
slightly unrealistic sometimes. When they went and took the pictures, it was all about how did they afford the plane? How did they? There's a lot of it's a very.
Yeah.
I think it was too much of a family film.
Okay, fair enough.
For me.
Yeah.
But it means that kids can watch it. Maybe they love Springsteen. Maybe that's the idea.
It's a way to introduce Springsteen's music to new generation.
And I get that. But for me, let's see it as a 15 at least.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Did you notice last night when the Tarantino film came on and the 18 certificate came up? There was a buzz.
Yeah.
Everyone. Oh.
Because 18. Anything can happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Blinded by Light. Make that an 18 too. Then I'll go see it again.
Yeah. But I recommend it because it's a really good film.
Yeah, I recommend it.
It was really touching.
For people who... No, because I liked it, so I recommend it.
Yeah, we're not like held back religiously or through family and stuff. Do you know what I mean? We can still relate to it.
Yeah.
As people.
Yeah.
So I think it's... I mean, but you're right. It is universal.
I can relate to it in music sort of inspiring you to a point of changing your entire life. I get that. That's happened to me.
Yeah. Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, loads of stuff. Loads of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I highly recommend it.
Go see it.
I gave it a 7.5, I think.
You wouldn't do a midway through the year, where's your ranks thing? You'd leave that to
I did
January.
I did it in last year, halfway through the year.
Oh, did you? Did it change?
A wee bit, yeah.
Right.
You would do yours because you might not be on the last one in January because you'll be away.
Well, I'll be back.
True.
Late January. Oh, it's Tarantino. So.
Oh, I love it how the fact it's your film of the year so far.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Where is it? Okay. Well, why don't we
Where
just
is
talk
it with
about
me?
that?
I don't know. I didn't do it yet because I didn't want to spoil my opinion for you.
I'll put it straight on there. Oh, film of the year so far. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean,
I didn't see Avengers Endgame because
I'm
not on that train.
I know, but the fact that Avengers Endgame was the build-up of these 21 films, it's definitely going to be number 2, I think. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I can't argue because I didn't see it.
And then when Star Wars comes out, it's going to blow the both. But
well, we don't know that yet.
It will for me.
You don't know that yet.
I know. It probably will though.
It probably will. You don't know that though.
I don't think I've never been in bits in a cinema. We're just sobbing, but I think I will be for Star Wars.
Because it's over.
It's over, and it's the end of this story that I've just loved so much all my life, and then to be revamped at this age, and it's going to be done. But again, maybe I'll hate it. There's been Star Wars fans that I know of in my life who hated Last Jedi, and I'm just like, why? Star Wars is great, but all these wee things annoyed them, and I wonder if that happened with me. But I mean, I loved Last Jedi, and I know a lot of people did as well.
I
A lot of people hated it.
I didn't.
You didn't love it, yeah, I know.
But I feel like the optimist in me is going, I'm going to see number 9 and JJ is going to fix everything, and he is going to make me love Last Jedi, because it's all going to make sense.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
But
that's what I hope.
We'll have to wait. And again, as well, because it comes out in December, it's going to be fresh in my mind for January, so when I make my list, I'll be like, oh, best film ever.
Where would I go on either of these apps to find out what we still to wait for in 2019? You know, we're in August now.
Probably IMDb.
Let's have a look. So what can we look? What's going to rival for our top positions? Because I'm loving ranking years. This is a new thing.
But this has been the most insane year for cinema I think I've ever been a part of in my life.
Really? But you've not seen as much as last year.
Yeah, but the amount of big films this year, I mean.
Yeah.
Game-changing films.
Yeah.
Like the Captain Marvels and like the Avengers and the Star Wars that's coming out, and then we've got Hobbs and Shaw that I've not seen yet, and then all these films like Green Book that were underdogs that became my favourites, and then new Tarantino and The Lion King and Dumbo and Aladdin and all these remakes.
There's going to be remakes every year.
But I know, but this year especially Toy Story, like all these, Spider-Man, like such a massive year. So it's mental. But yeah, whilst Aaron does a wee search for big films to come, you guys should write upcoming films.
I don't know.
So it's just going to show you all the big films that have already come out. Upcoming films in 2019.
Well, here we go. Biggest new films coming soon to 2019 and the best so far. Toy Story 4. Not seen it. Should I see it?
I mean, yeah, it's great.
Okay. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Seen it. X-Men, The New Mutants. I'm not going to see it. Are you?
Probably not. Zombieland is coming out.
It's Chapter 2. You going to see that?
Yeah.
I'll see that.
I didn't love the first one, but I'm going to see it.
Ad Astra. That's that Brad Pitt, James Gray film.
If it's Brad Pitt in it after that film, I'm going to go see it.
Right. Oh, The Joker.
That's another like one.
That could rival.
Do you know why I think that's going to be great? Because it's not Batman's Joker. It's a brand new thing. It's completely separate. It's a story about the Joker. It's not how the Joker became the Joker. It's not an origin story. It's a separate story about the Joker.
Right.
It doesn't have to be the Joker from The Dark Knight. It doesn't have to be Heath Ledger. It's totally new.
Right.
And I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Frozen 2.
I don't think I would be because Frozen 2.
Frozen 2 is coming out. Rambo: Last Blood.
The Goldfinch. It's a novel that's been made.
The sequel to 47 Meters Down. Holy God.
Ford v Ferrari. Matt Damon and Christian Bale.
That's a good cast.
Racing thing. I feel like it's an Oscar contender.
Ricky Bobby.
Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. So these are all the big ones still to come, according to Wired.
But hey, that's life.
What's life?
There's always something on the horizon.
Yeah, it's good.
That's good.
I'm just wondering what's gonna vie for the top position, because in terms of the films I've seen so far in 2019, it's been nothing in comparison to the films I love seeing in 2018.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've seen a lot of films this year, but not as many as 18. 18 was ridiculous. I saw everything. 18,
I think because I saw.
Oh, you love Lady Bird as well. Oh my God, that film is incredible.
Like, come on! Last year you had Phantom Thread, you had Lady Bird, you had 3 Billboards, you had Mamma Mia 2, you had Incredibles 2, you had Cold War, which you've not seen.
I didn't see.
Which was incredible.
Black Klansman.
You had Black Klansman, which was alright.
Dogs was great.
You had A Quiet Place.
Bohemian Rhapsody. That was a great year. Star is Born.
Big year film.
Bad Times at the El Royale, which you didn't love, but I did.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I mean those first 5 films: Lady Bird, Billboards, Cold War, Mamma Mia,
Phantom Thread.
Phantom Thread, which I've Which is slowly becoming my most watched movie of all time. I
Really?
keep watching it. I'm obsessed.
I've only
with
seen
that
it one
film.
time.
I'm obsessed with it. I
liked
bought
it.
I bought it.
I like that. That's
I
good.
never buy films. I bought it.
Nice.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this. Who cares? No one cares about where I rank films. But you might have heard, if you've listened to older Good Bits, which if you have and you listen to this,
Thank
you
for
must
coming
be
back.
a fan, and that's great. I don't know if Birdman is going to stay at the top of my list for much longer.
Well, really? You're going to change it with Phantom Thread?
I don't know.
Maybe, I bet you should watch them back to back and have a night.
I'll need to.
That's crazy. Let's get to some of the questions that have been sent in by the listeners from the last episode. We apologise that it was a little longer than expected, but it's all good. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
We're not making these up, are we? These are real because
These are real questions. Yeah, these are real questions that we sent in.
Wow.
First one we kind of touched on earlier, so can I just get to that? It's from Daniel. Daniel says, "How did Chris meet all of his guests on the show, and how did the show get staffed with everybody?" What I think he means is how it got started.
Well, we can answer both.
We can answer both, but why don't you tell your account, because
how I met you?
How we met and how the show started.
Well, I met you because we were on the same course.
We met in drama college.
Drama School. Doing acting. That's how we met.
Yeah. And that's how I met pretty much everybody on the show.
Yeah, we can answer that. That's blanket.
Yeah.
How did we start a podcast? Well, we started it in a gay bar sitting on two thrones.
Well, we never started it. That was when the idea came.
Well, that's the seed.
That is the seed, yeah.
You'd already started. You'd introduced me to the world of podcasts.
I had done a couple of podcasts in my life, and I was in the middle of doing one about sports called By the Way, and I was telling Aron about it, and I just said, I wish I could talk about movies on the podcast. And then we were in Polo in Glasgow, which is a gay bar, and Aron was like, let's do a podcast. Let's start one together. And what was the original name?
Royale with Cheese.
Royale with Cheese, which coincidentally is also a Tarantino reference.
Yeah.
So
must have been after Hateful Eight, that.
After Hateful Eight, you would maybe just watch Pulp Fiction.
Wow.
You would have, because you watched Pulp Fiction right after it.
Yeah.
And this was around February, March time.
Wow.
Of 2016.
All happened very quickly.
All happened very quickly. And then I just brought my mic into college. We sat in a tiny cupboard, which is now a costume cupboard.
Is it?
Yeah. It's been expanded, the wall's been knocked down and it's big now.
Alright.
And we sat there and we talked about Batman versus Superman.
Was that the first film we reviewed?
Yep.
What a travesty.
Yeah. No, but it was a good one though, because it brought our difference in opinions together.
Did it? Did you like Batman?
Well, I did, but because I was more supportive of it because I like superhero films, and you were like, no.
It was shite.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, but still. So that was that. Then as it went on, the plan was just to get as many people as possible on from college, but because college is a term-based thing,
It's over now.
We'd leave for a while and leave for a couple of weeks and then leave for a month and then be back full time and not have time to do ones, and people would get annoyed that they weren't invited on.
Oh, politics.
It was just like, oh, why is we even bothering here? But then as we left college and stuff, it became easier to manage. In 2018, I posted an episode every 2 weeks. It was great, so much fun.
The whole year?
For like the majority of the year, like 9 months of the year.
Wow.
I was very happy with it, and then it was like the best year we'd done. And then this year's kind of, I wasn't fussed about doing it this year because I was happy to kind of recharge the batteries, focus on the YouTube channel, which has been a success. And now we're here sitting for episode 56. It's definitely been the best fun I've had on a podcast, doing the good bit.
Out of all the podcasts.
Out of all the podcasts I've done.
Right.
And that's including, by the way, in the rap chat and all the wrestling ones I've done in my life. Just because it's been kind of nice to, I love talking to people. It's been so nice to sit down and talk to folk. And that, when I was talking about my new idea, is a good catalyst for that, because I can literally sit down and talk to folk. Mm-hmm. So that's an idea. Mm-hmm. But that's how the podcast started.
It's a good one.
We started just chatting about it, and then it developed.
And
cool.
how is it staffed?
How was it staffed? I looked at literally how it was staffed. I looked at what we were talking about at the time, and I thought, who'd be good for that episode? And
you cast them.
I cast it, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. We have Cody. Cody asked on Twitter, I believe, what is your go-to coffee order?
Well, what's yours now?
Well, I don't know.
Not changed.
I've just had 1 cup of black coffee, which I really enjoyed. My go-to coffee order is a white chocolate mocha.
Really?
Yep.
Bloody hell! Where'd you get that from?
Starbucks.
How often do you get that?
once a week.
Well, that's alright. Bloody hell. That's a lot of sugar. You know that?
White chocolate mocha.
Oh.
It's my nice. I have it for films and if I go to the cinema.
Oh.
If I'm in town, it's cold. It's my go-to coffee order. Sugar's alright in moderation.
I know. But coffee, like, I've become a snob because I've developed a great love for coffee, and we were talking about this the other day. And I started off kind of like you. Sugar in my coffee, caramel lattes, Jeez. All that.
Caramel latte used to have a caramel latte every day in
vanilla
college.
lattes with sugar,
Yeah.
Minimal taste of coffee, really. And I've progressed myself down to latte, no sugar, then flat white with sugar, flat white without sugar, just an Americano with milk. It's all come very, very gradually. And now I am at the point where I just drink Americanos, I just drink black coffee because I love the actual taste of coffee more than the taste of sugar.
Sugar. Can I have a cup after this?
Of coffee?
Yeah. Black coffee.
Yeah.
Or is it bad because I've already had a cup today?
It's not bad, it's alright.
Kind of in the mood to have one now.
I did learn the other day that coffee has a half-life of 6 hours. So what that means is...
Has a what?
So by 6 hours, you'll have half the effects of the caffeine still in your system. So if you drink a cup of coffee at midday and you go to sleep at midnight, you'll still have a quarter of the caffeine in your system. So you should really only drink coffee as early as you can if you're going to drink a black coffee.
Well, yeah. Well, if I was to go to the cinema and I'd have a white chocolate mocha
at night.
Oh,
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does make a difference. Still go to sleep, but
yeah, but you don't get this good quality sleep.
Okay. I had a good sleep last night. Slept in.
Yeah, well, we didn't have a mocha at the cinema, did we?
That's true. That's true. What did we have?
You had an ice blast.
I had a slushy, an icy.
That's not great either, but
it's alright. It's refreshing. Again, everything's alright in moderation.
Yeah, you're right.
We went into the M&M store yesterday in London. Imagine being in there every day. Oh my lord.
Concealer.
Is it?
That's the word for that.
Concealer.
You know what I mean? Just
yeah. So that's your go-to coffee order? Just black coffee now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bailey asked what's our favourite movie of 2019 so far. We kind of talked about
that. What's our favourite?
Yeah.
What's yours? Avengers Endgame?
Endgame, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Green Book, top 3.
Right.
And then finally Michael asks, what is your go-to movie when you're just looking for something to watch? You know that way where you're just trying to kill time, it's a rainy day, you're just trying to kill some time. What's your go-to movie? I don't really have one.
What, that you watch all the time?
That you would happily just stick on. I don't have one, but if I was to have one, what would it be? Probably Jaws. I've watched it so many times at random points, 20 minutes in, an hour in, 2 hours in. It's not even 2 hours long, but you know what I mean.
Okay.
It's like 2 hours and 4 minutes, but you know what I mean.
Go-to movie
that you wouldn't mind just sticking on. That if it was on ITV4 at 8 o'clock on a Saturday, and you're just waiting to go out to the club with your friends, and it's just on, you just happily put it on just until to kill time.
I don't know, something like Indiana Jones or something, you know?
Something easy to watch. Back to the Future, Star Wars.
I've not seen that yet.
Really, Back to the Future. Oh,
I know. There's so many films, so little time.
I'm the same. You have Star Wars, another one, Rush Hour. What's your favourite films of all time, really? I guess.
I'm watching Phantom Thread a lot, but that's more of a on the iPad wanting to watch it again.
Wanting to learn.
That's not a film you stick on.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Star Wars, Indiana Jones,
Revenge of the Sith, mainly.
Yes.
They were quoting it all night.
Yes.
Hello there. I read a thing last night that Ewan McGregor's doing Kenobi, a mini series for Disney Plus, but it turns out it's just a rumour, and it's like they are in talks. So hopefully that happens.
Hopefully that does happen.
Because that's something I would be very into. I want a film, not a series.
Hopefully it's good.
It will be good. Ewan McGregor's great.
Yeah.
But I think that may actually be us done for today.
I feel like we've talked about everything we need to talk about. Anything you want to talk about, listener? No?
Oh.
Sure?
Okay then.
No, go on. Don't be shy.
Nah, I've got
No, that's
nothing.
alright.
I've got nothing. Just before we go, have you been watching any films? You just watched Broadchurch.
Yeah, season 1.
Yeah. What did you think? Without spoiling anything.
Brilliant. I had to watch it all at once. I was so addicted.
Cool. Anything else you've been watching?
Yeah. Yeah. What have I been watching? Lots.
I can tell you what ones I've been watching. I note them all down.
I don't note them down. I should.
I note them all down. The Matrix I saw it in the cinema for the first time ever.
That's great.
My initial thoughts were it was great, very cool. However, it would have been mind blowing in 1999 when this film came out. But it's now 2019 and we have seen everything, so it's not as impressive. Just saying. Been watching some of the Fast and Furious movies in preparation for Hobbs and Shaw for the first time. Watched Fast 5 the other night and it is just, it's great. It's so much fun and it's so much better than the first 4. And then I watched The Tuxedo with Jackie Chan the other night because it was on and I recorded it. And I love watching movies on TV because it feels like you're progressing with your watching, and it was so much fun. Underrated for sure. I checked the IMDb score and it's like 34 and all this, and I was like, people just take things too seriously. And yeah, that's me. I've not been watching. I started watching a show called Dark, which is a German TV show dubbed in English, which has been very interesting. I'm only in the first few episodes. There's not yet been a real hooking factor. However, what was a real hooking factor was Afterlife on Netflix with Ricky Gervais, and it was just amazing. And it's only 6 episodes, and they're 25 minutes each. It was so easy to watch, and they're doing season 2 right now.
I've seen it.
You watched the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
I thought it was good. I don't quite understand all the hype. To be honest with you.
I just think it's important, and it's like it's literally the things that people don't speak about that they maybe should being fed to you
Yeah, it's
right
good.
in front of you. It's great,
Quaint, nice watching.
and I found it really funny and really charming and
I find it funny.
touching. But anyway, yeah,
Interesting.
that's
yeah.
some recently watched
Because
stuff.
people absolutely loved Afterlife. Don't get
Someone's been murdered outside.
that.
We'll probably go and check on them.
Nah.
Nah, okay. We're going to film some YouTube videos actually because that's kind of blown up a wee bit.
It's blown up.
It's blown up crazy. I'm actually millions and millions of views now. CM42 TV on YouTube for music, movie, reaction videos, trailers and films and stuff. YouTube exclusives of the good bits on there as well, so if you want to check them out, video podcast, every episode in their entirety are on that channel from 1 to now 56, so check them out please.
This one won't be
It will be soon,
on video form. Oh,
but
just a background.
as a background, yeah.
Oh, right.
Because people, for some reason, a lot of people listen to podcasts on YouTube. Don't know why. But we've moved from Podomatic. We're now on Anchor FM.
We're on Spotify.
We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Podbean, everywhere.
Right.
Pocket Casts, anywhere you get your podcasts, you can listen to your boys. So yeah. Thank you very much everybody for checking this episode out. Thank you, Aaron, for letting me in your house for the past couple of days and showing me about London. Had a great time, and we had 2 great experiences at the cinema.
We did, and we will learn, grow, and strive for more.
Absolutely. Okay guys, until next time, thank you very much for listening. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Good Bit Pod. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and remember this is The Good Bit Podcast. Recognise.